Let's go!
Man, I'm feeling great right now.
Did Oklahoma just steal the best running back in the SEC? Coming in from the West Coast is Jadyn Ott, who had a down year last year. We'll talk about him, about why that actually happened a little bit later, but I want to talk about him as a running back because even in a down year, man, he overall was still good. All right. Now, this run right here is a little dirty. So you can see right here that they're playing quickly, and this is a front that you want to be able to run against, right? This was something that Oklahoma had issues with last year. When they had numbers in the box, they weren't able to capitalize. You see right here, the 3-technique defensive tackle comes on the field late, and this is a light box. This is a 6-man box. You want to be able to run against this with everyone all spread out. And the bottom line here is UC Davis is winning pretty much every matchup. You can see the offensive lineman loses his balance. All these gaps are filled. This backside end is doing a good job holding against this double. But watch what Jadyn Ott does. He does not panic. He presses here and waits for this linebacker to think he might be coming through here and opens up a small little gap to run through to turn this into a 5-yard gain. One of the best red zone runs I can remember seeing in all of college football last year. And I understand that the level of competition isn't the best, but what he does here is truly spectacular, okay? Just a simple little zone handoff to the left. And once again, the linemen are losing their battles, okay? These gaps are filled really well. And now all you need here is to force Ott where this play is designed to go is to the left, force him to bounce, and this edge guy step up here and make this tackle. So Jadyn Ott sees that it's dirty. He jump cuts out here and then presses and beats everybody here in a foot race. And what makes this even more impressive is he gets into the end zone untouched. There was not a fingernail that got to him here on this run at all. That is ridiculous. You'll see it here versus Florida State, setting blocks up. They do a good job just smashing this counter play in. And Ott sees that he needs to bounce it, and he's patient. He doesn't just slam in there. And these cow blockers, that's a good job by the tight end right there to help seal. And Jadyn Ott gets a really nice run there. This time, you're doing this to the right. And what makes this very spicy here is you're not only pulling the guard and the tight end, you also have the receiver in motion here. And guess what? You get exactly what you want. You get numbers here on the edge, some good seals. And Ott does a good job setting this up, reading this, and getting to the edge. Now, this is more so a really well-blocked play, but man, that's a good job making number 3 miss. This wasn't the best job in the world by this wide receiver. He goes for the big hit instead of just sealing him, but that's still not bad. And watch what Jadyn Ott does at the end of this run. I love a running back that is out for blood, a guy that is always looking to run people over, even if it's not somebody on the opposing team. This photographer knew better than to get in Jadyn Ott's way, knocks him or her over. It's hard for me to see here, and does not help him up, all right? That's what I like to see. We do not want any sympathy. Looks like that is a Florida State photographer. Just look at him and move on to the next play. So this will be a bit of an adjustment. I know Miami was a good team. Their defense, though, was abysmal. How many times are you going to be able to do these jump cut bounces versus SEC competition? Probably not a lot. Okay, I'm not saying that 7 is Caleb Downs, but there's probably more DBs making that tackle, but it's still amazing how good he is at bouncing runs to the outside. Not as a receiver out of the backfield is someone that you should envy, right? He has really soft hands, and every time I say that, that is just absolutely ridiculous coming out of my mouth. Either way, this honestly is a really well-designed play. So you're showing counter here, but it's actually just a wheel throw to this side. So they're thinking, hey, this is potentially a run or a QB little counter to the left. Instead, it's a throw to the left, okay? And Jadyn Ott, once again, really good receiver. I know this is wide open. This wasn't even his best catch in the game. He had a 70-plus yarder to give them the big lead in this game. But, man, a really good receiver. You'll see right here, he motions out left, and nobody really accounts for him. So he just finds a way to get open here. I know it's cut off, but this is normally something you see a wide receiver do, come back to the quarterback to make this grab. Now, it is important to note that Mendoza was a really, really good quarterback for them last year, but you're seeing wide receivers do this. So, once again, he is very comfortable lining up outside and you using him as a receiver, okay? Really good stuff. This was a play that probably excited Oklahoma the most because this was the huge touchdown that Xavier Robertson had versus Alabama, okay? So you're showing a counter here to the left, but it's actually a sweep handoff to the right. This is probably my favorite modern play design. Oklahoma, I think, actually took this from Josh Heupel, and you see that these linebackers are reading counter to the left. Look at how many people are actually running over here to the left, and this is actually a handoff to the right, and all you got to do is beat this backside in and get semi-decent blocks on the outside. Look at all that space that run action creates, and now, once again, this is more so play design setting this up. Let's see if Jadyn Ott can turn this into something special here. He really can, honestly. All right, so this is one big positive and one negative when regarding Jadyn Ott. It was clear that he wasn't the same person. He suffered a small little injury early in the season, and he decided to play through it. Okay, once again, this catch looks easy. It is a really softly and well-thrown football as well. But there are so many receivers that are not making this catch and keeping their balance. I mean, that is a really good job right there by Ott. But I do think as the season wore on, I need you to make this guy miss in the open field, okay? You could see he does a good job setting 17 up, and he actually leaves his feet early. Okay, in this spot, if you were to freeze frame and ask me with my life depending on it, is Ott making this guy miss right here? I'm saying 9 times out of 10 he is, and this time he's not able to, okay? And that's the difference between that and a first down. How about Jadyn Ott as a pass protector? This is ridiculous stuff. So, obviously, Oklahoma played on the road at Auburn, so a lot of you are familiar with Eugene Asante. This has been one of the SEC's best linebackers, and you see with a full head of steam, he is flying off this edge right here. Watch this block by Jadyn Ott, okay? I mean, he is losing this battle every single time, and guess what? Boom! He takes him straight head on and gets absolutely mollywopped. Now, once again, he still hits the quarterback, but it was good enough for Mendoza to complete this absolutely ridiculous back shoulder throw down the sideline. It's some courageous stuff. Part of why Ott had a down year, well, what is he supposed to do here? Okay? There is absolutely nothing he could do about that right there. So, my honest opinion of Jadyn Ott is pretty simple. The guy is very good, and I do think the ankle injury in the season opener had a huge role in his output, along with some really shaky offensive line play. But you saw him in pass protection. You saw him as a receiver really step it up. This was really one of his 2 explosive runs on the season. This was his longest, a 78-yarder, and you'll see at the end of it, he actually gets sucked up. I think Jadyn Ott, fully healthy from the year prior, is actually housing this football. So you did see from watching him in 2023, which I did, and compare him to 2024, he just didn't have that same oomph. But what I would also tell you is there is a player he reminds me a lot of in the SEC who had the near exact same thing happen to him. He had a really strong first 2 seasons at Arkansas, and then in year 3, he had an ankle injury on a turf field like Jadyn Ott did versus a bad opponent, and his name was Raheem Rocket Sanders. So he left Arkansas, transferred to South Carolina, and was fantastic for him. He had 88 yards or something like that. And obviously that would be a very productive season for Jadyn Ott. In fact, their stats are indeed very similar if you were to compare the two. So, man, what a player. I'm really excited to see what he's going to do next year with Oklahoma. But, if everything else isn't working, if Mateer is a dud, which I don't think he is, if the offensive line isn't better and the new offensive brain power is not better, it's just going to be another tough year for Jadyn Ott. So if you want to see the John Mateer video, bang, it's floating in your face, and let me know what you guys think down below, okay? It is Power Hour SEC. Boom! Tonight, we are doing steaks.